Welcome back to my channel, Geophysics for Everyone. I do hope that you enjoyed the video. Thank you. Today we are going to talk about the measurement of physical properties, and the first part we are going to talk about density. This video is a part of series of videos that intended for second year courses called Elementary Geophysics at Institut Teknologi Bandung. Why, as a geophysicist, we need to know how to measure the physical properties? Ideally, the geophysicist should have a hands-on experience on how to measure basic physical properties. Geophysicists should have a sense of magnitude when it comes to use the values of physical properties. This is one of the reasons why at Institut Teknologi Bandung we design courses, Elementary Geophysics, that contain laboratory components. In these laboratory components, students are expected to carry on the physical property measurements for themselves. One of the one of the exercise is measuring density. So, to measure density, we need the following, okay? We need the samples, first of all. In this exercise, we will provide the student with cylindrical rock samples. So this cylindrical rock sample is about 1 inch in diameter and about 2.2 centimeters in height. And we also provide the students with mud samples and also with pyroclastic and iron sand samples. So the student would have experience on measuring the density of substance that not in solid form. So we will also provide the students with plastic holders. So these cylindrical plastic holders with caps is they are about 2.2 centimeters in height and about 1 inch in diameter. We will also provide the students to these instruments. One is a precision balance and the other one is caliper. So, what the student need to do? Remember, the student would have 5 solid rocks and 3 other type of samples: the mud, the pyroclastic, and the iron sand. Okay, for these 5 solid rocks, we encourage the student to choose different type of rocks. For instance, maybe one of the 5 samples will be igneous rocks, the other one will be metamorphic rock, and the other one will be sedimentary rocks, for example. Okay, so for this solid sample, it's very simple. The students are required to just measure the diameters and the height of these 5 samples. Please repeat the measurements at least 3 times, and then the students could calculate the volume of these solid rock samples. The students are then required to measure the mass of these 5 samples with the precision balance, and then they divide the mass of the samples with their volumes, and voila, they will find the density. Now for the non-solid rock samples. For these mud, pyroclastic, and iron sand samples, before the students measure the sample, they have to measure the weight or the mass of the empty cylindrical plastic holders. Okay. They also have to measure the inside volume of the plastic holders by measuring the internal height and the internal diameter of these holders. So then they have the volume, the internal volume of these holders. Then the students are required to fill these empty holders with muds, iron sand, and pyroclastic samples. Make sure that you could do it as full as possible, and then secure the holders by placing their caps tightly. The students then measure the mass of these 3 samples with a precision balance. And finally, the students could divide the mass of these 3 samples with their internal volumes of the holders, and voila, they will find the density. So what should the student do in their reports? Apart from providing the density of the samples, the students is encouraged to discuss their findings. Perhaps the students could compare why the density of some substance are much higher or much lower than that of the other substance. The students could also compare their findings with that in the textbook or other literature. The students could describe why density of their samples are higher or lower than that given in the textbooks. In the next video, we are going to talk about the measurement of magnetic susceptibility. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.